24th, 1848, and a carpenter named James Marshall is about to stumble upon something that will trigger one of the biggest migrations in human history. He had been hired to build a sawmill for John Sutter, a land developer with dreams of turning California into an agricultural empire. But in the midst of construction, Marshall caught a glittering glimpse from the bottom of the American River. Something golden, half the size and shape of a pea.
He picked it up and studied it, and then he hurried to Sutter's office, and they were astonished, and they discovered that they had this remarkable wealth in their hands. The news of the gold discovery was impossible to contain. It was like a virus. It was a contagion. The news was so remarkable.
Even President James Polk got in on the act, addressing Congress in December 1848 with a dazzling account of the California gold boom.
And this validation by the president was all that was needed to release this tremendous interest and this tremendous sense of excitement that at last there was an opportunity for people to fulfill their most remarkable ambitions and expectations. The news then spread to London. It spread literally around the world, to Australia. People began to come by ship from Europe. They came by all means to this dynamic place called California.
Most came in search of precious metals, but many of the gold rush's biggest fortunes would be made by resourceful merchants.
It was frequently said that money was made by mining the miners. They needed boots, they needed blankets, they needed shirts, they needed shovels and pickaxes and explosives, and they needed liquor and more liquor and more liquor.
Bars, brothels, and inns sprung from the ground like weeds. Far from the watchful eyes of home, the miners worked hard, but played even harder in the mostly male boom towns.
What did they name these towns? They called them Rough and Ready. They called them Timbuktu, Blue Tent, Red Dog. One town was called Gouge Eye, marvelous name. And my favorite town was a place called Ladies' Crevice. These are examples of the robust sense of freedom that these young men felt.
By 1852, gold lust had attracted 250,000 immigrants from every corner of the United States and the world. Most entered California through the eclectic gateway of San Francisco.
It grows, it booms, it prospers. By 1870, San Francisco had more people than all of Oregon and Washington, the one city. San Francisco is like a great heart of California.
It was also a hub for a new American dream. The promise of wealth for all became an anthem for a new, optimistic nation. Many did strike it rich between 1849 and 1864, the rush's golden years. Many more did not. Still, James Marshall's chance encounter at Sutter's Mill left an indelible mark on the American landscape.
That moment of discovery released forces that shaped, indeed drove the development of California. And by that release of forces, that moment in time, it seems to me, can be identified as one of the key moments in American history, and indeed in world history.
Though James Marshall was the man who started it all, he actually ended up penniless. After years of hard drinking and poor spending, he died in 1885 and was laid to rest on a hill overlooking the site of his great discovery. For the History Channel, I'm Mike Rowe. Join me next time on The Most.